In today's world, information is everywhere. On our phones, TV, social media, and news outlets. But not all of it is straightforward or neutral. Many groups, from governments and companies to activists and advertisers, use clever techniques to shape how we think, feel, and act. These methods are called propaganda or information manipulation, and they often work so subtly that we don't even notice them. The following explains some of the most common tactics. Understanding them helps us spot when someone is trying to influence us and think more critically about what we read, hear, or see. Appeal to anonymous authority. This method tricks people into believing something by referring to vague or unnamed experts without giving any real details about who they are. For example, imagine a news story saying, "Experts warn that eating chocolate causes headaches," but it doesn't name any specific doctors or studies. This makes the claim sound trustworthy because it borrows the idea of authority, like scientists or officials, but since no one is identified, it's hard to check if it's true or hold anyone accountable if it's false. It's like hearing gossip from someone important. It feels credible at first, but there's no way to verify it. Propagandists use this to spread misinformation, especially on social media or ads where people might not dig deeper. Normalization through everyday reporting. Here, the idea is to make shocking or bad things seem normal over time by reporting them in a calm, routine way, like it's just another daily update. Think about how violence in movies or news can start to feel less alarming if you see it all the time. That's desensitization. For instance, if the media covers wars or crimes with neutral tones, short clips, and no big emotional reactions, people get used to it and stop feeling outraged or motivated to act. This leads to emotional numbness, where society accepts things that should be unacceptable. It's often used in long-term propaganda to shift public opinion, like making corruption seem like business as usual, so no one pushes for change. Hunger strike. This involves healthy people publicly refusing to eat in a noticeable spot, like a park or government building, to emotionally pressure leaders or opponents into giving in. It's not about actually starving to death, but creating a dramatic scene that tugs at heartstrings. Media coverage amps it up, showing the strikers looking weak and dedicated, which paints the target, like a government, as cruel if they don't respond. For example, activists might do this to demand policy changes, and with cameras rolling, it can sway public opinion by making viewers feel guilty or sympathetic. It's a non-violent way to manipulate emotions, turning personal sacrifice into a powerful tool for influence. Catch the thief. This tactic is about dodging blame by being the first to accuse someone else loudly or even pretending to join a hunt for the real culprit. It's like in a mystery movie where the thief yells "Stop, thief," while pointing at an innocent person to shift suspicion. In real life, a politician caught in a scandal might immediately blame their rivals or create a distraction by over-dramatizing their own innocence. This redirects anger and confusion away from themselves, often using scapegoats, like blaming immigrants for economic problems. It works because people get caught up in the chaos and forget to question the accuser. Overexposure, talking to death. The goal here is to wear people out by repeating something positive or promotional so much that it becomes annoying and backfires. Imagine a song you like at first, but after hearing it 100 times a day on the radio, you start hating it. Propagandists might flood the airwaves with endless praise for a leader or a product, like constant ads or news segments, until the audience gets tired and turns against it. This creates a negative reaction instead of support, reducing the topic's importance. It's useful for undermining competitors by overhyping them indirectly or for burying important issues under repetitive noise. Boomerang effect. This happens when an aggressive attack or smear campaign against someone ends up helping them instead, like a boomerang coming back to hit you. For example, if the media harshly criticizes a celebrity for a minor mistake, calling them names non-stop, the public might start feeling sorry for them and see them as a victim, boosting their popularity. The same goes for ads. Pushing a product too hard can irritate people and make them avoid it. Propagandists have to be careful, because overdoing negativity can create sympathy and turn the tables, making the target look resilient or unfairly targeted. Halo effect. This relies on stereotypes, where success or fame in one area makes someone seem great at everything. It's like assuming a famous actor must be smart about politics just because they're good on screen. The halo of their talent shines on unrelated things. Celebrities endorsing products or causes use this. People buy the item thinking it's high quality because the star is successful. In propaganda, it boosts a person's image, like portraying a business tycoon as a genius leader, even if they're clueless in other fields. It simplifies judgments, making it easy to manipulate opinions based on superficial associations. Primacy effect. People tend to remember and believe the first information they hear more than what comes later, so this method rushes to deliver a version of events first. It's why news outlets compete to break stories. The initial report sticks in minds like glue. For instance, if two sides of a story exist, the one broadcast first shapes how people view the rest, even if corrections follow. Propagandists exploit this by leaking biased info early, creating a first impression that's hard to shake. It's especially powerful in fast-paced media like social networks, where speed trumps accuracy. Presence effect. This creates a fake sense of being there in reports to make them feel more real and emotional. Tricks like shaky camera footage, background noises like sirens or crowds, or dramatic music mimic raw, unedited reality, even if it's staged. Think of war videos that look handheld and chaotic. It heightens tension and makes viewers feel the urgency. Propagandists use this in news or ads to amplify impact, like making a protest seem more intense. It bypasses logic by hitting emotions directly, convincing people the content is authentic without questioning it. Information blockade. This blocks out competing views to create an empty space, then fills it with only one side's story. It's like censoring all but one TV channel, so everyone hears the same narrative repeatedly. In practice, governments might shut down opposition websites or jam signals, then pump out their propaganda. This isolates people, making the dominant message seem like the only truth, leading to brainwashing over time. It's effective in controlled environments, like during crises, where fear makes folks more receptive to a single, reassuring voice. Commentary. Instead of just stating facts, this adds biased spins through a commentator's words, tone, or expressions to guide opinions subtly. For example, a news anchor might report a neutral event, but pause dramatically, roll their eyes, or use sarcastic voice inflections to imply it's ridiculous. This frames the info without changing the facts, like saying, "The politician claimed success again," with a smirk. It influences how audiences interpret things, building emotional biases without overt lies, and is common in talk shows or opinion segments. Statement of fact. This presents opinions or wishes as undeniable truths to make them stick as common knowledge. Media might say, "Everyone knows this policy is a failure," treating it as fact when it's just a viewpoint. Over time, this builds stereotypes and a fake consensus, like repeating "this group is always lazy," until people accept it without thinking. It reduces critical analysis, because why question something obvious? Propagandists use it to shape beliefs gradually, especially in headlines or slogans that sound authoritative. Distraction. To slip in manipulative messages, this overwhelms people with irrelevant or sensational stuff, like gossip or scandals, while hiding the real agenda. Imagine burying a controversial law in news, flooded with celebrity drama. People get distracted and miss the important part. It's like a magician waving one hand while picking your pocket with the other. This weakens resistance by tiring out attention spans, making it easier to insert suggestions amid the chaos, often used in politics to divert from failures. Eyewitnesses. This shapes stories by featuring ordinary people as witnesses who share emotional accounts, but they're often coached or fake. For example, after an event, interviews with random folks might all echo the same biased view, like saying a protest was violent when it wasn't. It feels relatable and trustworthy, because it's from real people, not officials, creating empathy and credibility. Propagandists plant these to humanize their narrative, making it harder to dismiss as it tugs at personal connections. Rewriting history. This gradually replaces true historical events with made-up versions in books, movies, or media to reshape how people see the world. For instance, downplaying a country's past atrocities in school textbooks to make it look heroic. Over generations, this erodes real memories, building a new truth that favors the propagandist's goals, like justifying current policies. It's long-term manipulation, using art and education to influence identities and loyalties without people noticing the shift. Propaganda and information manipulation have been around for a long time, but they've become even more powerful in the digital age, where information spreads instantly and endlessly. The techniques above are tools that can be used for good or bad, sometimes to rally people for positive change, but often to mislead, divide, or control. The key to protecting ourselves is awareness. By recognizing these methods, we can pause, question sources, seek out different viewpoints, and avoid jumping to conclusions. In a world full of competing messages, staying curious and skeptical helps us make up our own minds based on facts, not tricks. If you think this was useful, like, subscribe, and share.